Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And yet it's official on the Loving Life channel that the ambassador to South Africa, Lana Marks, is delusional. Delusional. Why am I saying this? Well, remember that Mike Pompeo said that expropriation of land without compensation would be devastating for South Africa. And then I posted a video just a couple of days ago where Philippe set out how that's going to impact the banking system and everything is just going to tank from there. But of course, Lana Marks, the US ambassador, an expat South African, knows better. No, she doesn't. She believes Cyril Ramaphosa. You know what? I would rather go and believe a bloody cockroach walking across the floor, that it's not going to go and grab my food. Because that's what the ANC do. They are so corrupt and so devious. So, let me add a bit of meat to the bone so you know what I'm talking about here. In the wake of recent comments by US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, the country's ambassador to South Africa says she has been assured that private land will not be expropriated without compensation. Now, if you believe the ANC and their junior partners, the EFF, with that, then you are a complete and utter friggin' idiot. Anyway, let's continue. Speaking to the Mail and Guardian, US Ambassador to South Africa, Lana Marks, responded to Pompeo's warning that plans to expropriate private property would be disastrous for the economy. She said, "I'm 100% satisfied in the way in which President Cyril Ramaphosa is handling everything in a totally open and transparent manner. I am totally satisfied." Well, Lana Marks, have you seen that 1993 ANC document that Ramaphosa was party to, where they talk about boiling the white population slowly once they get in power, which is exactly what they've been doing for the last 25 years? I guess you haven't. You don't know what's going on in South Africa. You're a complete ignoramus. Simples. Simples. Let's continue. Marx says, "I have personally advised all partners regarding this in the United States. There will be no confiscation whatsoever of private land. So now, having said that, there will be no confiscation of any private land whatsoever. Now is the time for major US investment in South Africa." So why the heck are they doing this? If they're not going to expropriate land without compensation, why did they put that bill into the Constitution? It ain't rocket science. You know, it's been put there for a reason. That's because they are going to do it when they are ready. You're dealing with a really devious mob here. And for any investor to even think it's safe coming to South Africa, you got to think again, because Lana Marks is delusional. But legislation clarifying the circumstances in which land may be expropriated without compensation is still in the process of being drafted. The President said as much in his response to the State of the Nation debate last Thursday. Ramaphosa added that our land reform is an essential part of inclusive growth. Now, I just put up a video today about that family in KwaZulu-Natal, the Duns, okay? Been in KwaZulu-Natal for generations and generations and generations. And the land hasn't been expropriated, but it might as well have been, because now what you've got is squatters taking over their farm, and no one's doing anything about it. They're squatting there illegally. The Duns actually have a court ruling telling these squatters to get off. The 14 million rand, which was supposed to be used to put them on another piece of land, has been stolen by some ANC cadre in the KwaZulu-Natal district. This is the reality of the deceit and the deception of the ANC at all levels, from the president all the way down to the very bottom. They're all in for the take. Anyway, getting back to what Ramaphosa said. He says, unless we change the patterns of land ownership in this country, unless we give all South Africans access to land for agriculture, for commerce, for housing, we will not only be perpetuating a grave injustice, but we will also be constraining the economic potential of our land and our people. That's gone terribly pear-shaped under BEE, hasn't it? The lack of land is, alongside the lack of skills, one of the greatest impediments to growth and prosperity. No, the greatest impediment to growth and prosperity in South Africa is called the ANC government. It has destroyed South Africa in just 25 years. The expropriation bill was released for public comment in December 2018 and is likely to be tabled in Parliament in June. The bill will be processed together with the amendment to Section 25 of the Constitution, which provides for expropriation without compensation. The first round of public hearings on the constitutional amendment are set to start on February the 28th in Mpumalanga and then the Free State. At the Goldman Sachs Investor Conference in May last year, Ramaphosa reportedly allayed fears that investors would be prejudiced by land expropriation without compensation. According to Business Tech, the president said, "I've said it before, foreign investors have nothing to fear. There's no way we can invite foreign investors to our country and say, come invest, and tomorrow we take your land away. That is not going to happen. That is not sensible. It's not something that any sensible person does." Now, does any sensible person go and expropriate the land of white farmers who've been using that land for generations and providing the food for South Africa? Is that sensible, expropriating their land? No, it's not. But then the ANC have the L factor missing in action. The old logic, cause and effect. They have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And that is self-evident in so many levels. In the interview with the Mail and Guardian, Marks said she was not consulted by the US State Department on the land reform issue prior to Pompeo's remarks last week. She said, "But I think he was just addressing this to say, please, South Africa, keep things in check. I think it was just a matter that was on his bucket list in his huge responsibility in Africa and around the world." Well, again, I think she's delusional. I think that she is just a complete waste of space filling up the US Embassy in Pretoria. She should be sent home. They should get someone who's actually got their head around what's going on in South Africa. Marx said, "South Africa has seriously addressed all of the contentious issues in the most serious and responsible manner, and I've relayed this clearly and articulately to Washington, and now is the time for serious American investment in South Africa." Well, not only is she delusional, but Lana Marks has shown that she's absolutely dumb. She's horribly stupid. Why would you invest in a country where Eskom is on its knees? What are you going to do when the power goes down? Great investment, Lana. And then what about the crime rate? What about black economic empowerment? What about triple BEE, which means that the Ramaphosas of the world will get a shareholding in this new BEE-compliant company, get even wealthier, while your foreign investor suddenly says, how the hell did I get caught in this? All roads lead to Rome. The false prophet called Lana Marks. She should hang her head in shame. Marx's first 90 days in the position have been marked by her ambitions to lift South Africa into the top 20 of US trade partners. In 2019, South Africa was ranked 39th. Marx said she has met some of the major US corporations engaged in industry in South Africa for many years, with the views of increasing investment. She said, obviously South Africa faces its most daunting economic challenges since the dawn of democracy a quarter of a century ago. and we are doing everything possible to assist with that flat economy, to really raise it out of the doldrums. Why do you think it's gone flat? I think Marx herself has a bit of an L factor missing in action too, but maybe it's political expediency, who knows. In response to Marx's comments that there will be no confiscation of any private land whatsoever under the new land reform legislation, spokesperson for the president, Kusela Diko, noted that Ramaphosa said government is committed to accelerating a land reform and thus reversing what he calls the original sin of land dispossession of the oppressed people of South Africa. Now, that's a complete lie and a complete furphy, and I've said it so many times and proved it so many times on this channel, I'm not going to go there again. This is how openly the ANC lie. So how are you going to accept their suggestion that foreign investors will be in a special class? They will not be touched, but the local white population are fair game when it comes to expropriation of land without compensation. There's something very, very wrong with that formula, but that's what they're actually saying between their teeth. Anyway, he goes on to say that Ramaphosa said he has further indicated that such land reform will be undertaken within the strict confines of our laws, of which the Constitution is the most supreme. And of course, they've just amended that Constitution, didn't they, with the help of the EFF. That's why you now have expropriation of land without compensation, because they have been fiddling with the Constitution that was set up when the Rainbow Nation was born. And of course, the Rainbow Nation is gone. Forget about the Rainbow Nation. It's now a corrupt ANC government. Anyway, he goes on. Ramaphosa goes on to say, both within the country and elsewhere, he is committed that South Africa will continue to protect property rights while setting out very clearly policy positions on how land reform will be accelerated. Guess who speaks with a forked tongue as usual? Yep. Cyril Hippo Eyes Ramaphosa, who was last seen wandering around the streets of St. Lucia near a petrol station. I think that Hippo had a better idea than Ramaphosa did as to how bad things are in South Africa. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.